If you're struggling to stay up or get to cloud base, then you might be in a thinking trap that many paragliders fall into, and it's costing you not only precious airtime, but the joy of true flow. Today, we are diving into a topic that is crucial for unlocking your paragliding potential. But first, we need to dig into the concept of natural learning to understand why counting is wrecking your flying. To highlight the difference between conscious control and natural learning, let's do a little demonstration. I'm going to attempt a simple task, which is picking up this radio in two different ways. First, I will try to consciously control every aspect of the movement. Okay, it's already picked up, but now I'm going to do it again. In order to pick this up, I need to somehow tell his hand what to do. I'm not even going to bother with what muscles to move because that's basically impossible. Move my wrist a little bit left, move my shoulder and upper arm, open, I guess, my thumb, open my fingers, my wrist before I even wanted to. Grab the radio. You get the point. As you can see, this is awkward and inefficient and requires immense mental effort just to perform a simple task. It isn't natural. There's no way that I can think through life this way. Now I'm going to try it again, but this time I'm just going to use my mind to intend to pick it up. So I guess I start here and then... Wow, magic. Wow. It just happens. The difference is obvious. Much more efficient, much smoother, and virtually no need for any conscious thought. Okay, put this down here again. This is natural learning in action. The intention of my thinking self initiated a complex set of movements, coordinated by my feeling self, without any need for me to micromanage the process. You've done this your whole life when you've learned to walk, eat, breathe, play, without needing to describe how in words or thought. Just imagine that your parents had to teach you how to walk this way, trying to actually talk you through, or think you through every single movement, every single step, every single body position and balance. It would be a total disaster. You simply set the intention to mimic your parents and those around you, and through trial and error, your subconscious feeling self just figured it out. This is how we naturally learn. It's the approach that I want to encourage you to adopt. To develop the sensitivity, your antennae, to the subtle cues of the air, essential for paragliding and especially for thermaling. So I'm going to give you some practical tips on how to do this, but first, it's really important for us to understand why the simple act of counting can be such a problem. The idea of counting, waiting a specific number of seconds before you initiate the turn in a thermal, or calculating an angle, seems logical at first. It provides a seemingly objective rule, a correct way to do things. But in reality, every thermal is unique, and so is every pilot's flying style. Counting activates the analytical thinking part of your mind, pulling you out of the present moment and away from your natural instincts and your feeling self. When you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, what are you not doing? You're not feeling the subtle shifts of pressure through your glider, the gentle nudges of lift through your risers, or the way that the air is moving around you in your harness. You're stuck in your head mechanically, waiting for the right moment, not connected to the changing environment around you. It's this disconnect that is the antithesis to the instinctual, spontaneous, and thoughtless state of flow. Thermals are dynamic. No two are alike. You can spend your whole life trying to master thermals. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Here in South Africa, our thermals in the summer are often very strong and very tight and very small low down, especially at the start of a day. They often require an almost immediate tight turn in order for you to hang in there. And waiting for a predetermined count here will most likely take you out of the core and eliminate your ability to create a mental image of the air and the thermal around you. When you let go of that need for the conscious controlling mind to take over, then you allow your subconscious feeling self to do what it's done your whole life. This is where the flow state happens. The science of flow, studied by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, shows that in this state, our brains shift from the active analytical left hemisphere to the more intuitive, feeling-oriented right hemisphere. Neurotransmitters like dopamine increase, enhancing focus and enjoyment. We're not thinking about flying. We are flying. The painter becomes the painting. The paraglider pilot becomes the flight. Being fully present in the moment is the key to accessing this state. Trusting this feeling and letting go takes practice and patience. but the rewards are immense. You'll find yourself more in sync with the thermals, making far more efficient turns, not having to think about what you're doing, staying up longer, and ultimately experience a deeper sense of connection and satisfaction and fulfillment with the flight and with your paragliding. So here are a few exercises that you can practice both in the air and on the ground to start to develop this feeling. When you're on glide, focus intently, be really mindful of the pressure changes happening through your harness, through your risers. Feel the pressure of the brake toggles ever so gently as you're flying through the air. You should never be flying with no feeling at all on your brakes. You should always have a little bit of attention there to have connection with your wing. Feel how the glider is communicating the air to you constantly. The point is not to control it in any way or not to try and influence anything, but rather to let go and really just to start becoming very aware and observant of what those feelings are and how everything feels. All the bits of information that you can get from the air through your harness and through the glider and through the brakes. Then when you're actually making turns, you can set this as a goal for yourself. Make some turns, but make them as mindfully as you can. So as you're doing this, make your turns, lean in with your weight shift, really try to feel the pressure, the change of pressure in the risers, feel the pressure on the brakes on both sides. Sometimes you might even want to slow the glider down and then come up on the outside brake, turn that way. Try that and start to really feel what happens with the glider. If you do slightly tighter turns and the glider speeds up, try to feel and notice the different levels of pressure all around you. And as you're doing this as well, try to do that when you feel different types of lift. So just when you feel the lift, try to almost instinctually feel when you should turn. If you really want to challenge yourself, periodically turn your Vario off. Don't fly with the sound. That'll really force you to focus on the actual sensations rather than what you're hearing. And that laser focus, that is the key to getting into flow. A key part of natural learning is not to label something good or bad. When you learn to walk, when you're not getting it, it's not bad that you're not getting it. You're not a bad walker. It just is. And everybody will have different stages or different experiences as to where they click. So the only thing really then is to be mindful of what happened. This is what happened. Okay, I fell out the thermal. Interesting. I'm still in the thermal. Interesting. There's no, that was such a good turn, you're so good, or oh, you're such an idiot that you're so bad, because then you're getting the thinking mind going again. What you're wanting to do is you're wanting to take a step back, allowing your feeling self to learn and process, do the flying itself, where you're just observing. Eventually what will happen is that things will just start to feel right. And your body will make that connection, because if your goal is to get up, then the body is going to try all variations until it clicks and the feeling is heading towards that goal. Flow state is all about goals and feedback. So if your goal is to climb to the top, the feedback is now that you are climbing and you are unjudgmentally observing this. Your body is going to make that connection much faster, that this is how you need to be doing this in order to go. So if you let go of that control and you're just mindful of the feeling, over time, you'll just start to do it completely naturally. Another unobvious method to practice thermaling is actually to watch birds and other pilots. Humans naturally learn through imitation. Our mirror neurons allow us to put ourselves in the perspective of others and even in other species. When watching birds, try to feel how they seem to know when to turn. Try to feel and in your mind mimic their fluidity, especially how they tighten, how they widen their circles, or how they drift with the wind. And then of course, there's the underappreciated practice of ground handling. This is the best way to develop an intuitive connection with your glider. So go out and ground handle, but don't just go there in easy laminar conditions. A lot of people get bored. You need to up the challenge in order for yourself to improve your skills. Fall on the ground. Collapse your glider. You can even create a circle and try and keep yourself inside that circle. Maybe try to have little wars with your buddies. Try to knock their gliders out of the sky. Ground handle in turbulence, not just easy conditions. If you incrementally up the challenge based on your current skill level, you will build your skills and grow your feeling through flow. Remember that some of the best pilots of the world talk about having a good feeling or a bad feeling when they make their decisions when they're flying.
In one direction I try to push the speed and the distance, and on the other side the safety. As long as I feel that it's safe, I can push to the speed, And as soon as I realized that it's come danger, it means I got always I got a bad feeling, and then I have to change something that I get a good feeling again.
This isn't mystical, it's the result of developing acute sensitivity to the air through countless hours of practice combined with a mindful approach. Trust that feeling, it's your subconscious mind processing far more information than your conscious mind ever could. And it's a skill that can be cultivated with practice and mindful attention. So it's time. Let go of that counting habit and start to cultivate your natural feel for the air. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but with practice and patience, you'll unlock a deeper level of connection with thermals, with paragliding, and experience the true flow of free flight. And if you want to understand more about how the masters use flow, well then watch this video next.